subtle touches. So that first little dab of paint was a bit too bigger than I meant to put down, but it's okay, I think. So what I've been doing, hopefully, as you've been able to see over the last few minutes, is I've been, adding different tones to the highlights I put down and different colours. So you put down a patch of highlight to describe the general highlight area, and then within that patch of colour you can add areas which are darker or lighter, and that tends to mirror reality a little better than if you just put down a solid swathe of a single colour. Now obviously this painting doesn't mimic reality in many ways, but nevertheless you can still kind of in your own world where you're creating your own rules, you can still follow the kind of general rules of the road, as it were. You don't have to just go wild and do absolutely anything. You've got to have a little bit of logic. It's a bit like when you watch Star Wars. It's all made up, but there is a kind of weird logic to it that they've thought about. And then I've just added a little bit more blue to the same colour. Just going to add an even smaller, brighter highlight to the eyes within the highlight that I put in earlier. And then what I also want to do, I think, is just like I did earlier, I'm going to mix a bit more of the titanium white into that colour though. I'm going to put a few of those, just little touches of that same colour. In the foreground. So for example, when I put it down there of that pale patch of yellow or white, then it looks blue. But if I put it on this darker region, then it looks almost white. Now I've just momentarily switched back to conventional acrylic. This is all my interactives up here. This is conventional on the left and a bigger brush. Back to the fluorescent yellow that I used right at the beginning of the painting. I just kind of think if I put a patch over here, I'm hoping it's going to help add to the sense of heat. Although the bleached out white of the foreground also helps. So I'm just going to scumble in some of that. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think it's made things worse, but I don't think I want to add too much more. So let's just put a lick down here. Let's just change the camera angle for you. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that. So I think I'm going to. It's not interactive, so it may not come off the page very well. But if I'm quick before it dries too heavily, I can lift off. Dries too heavily, before it dries too completely. I can lift off some of that with a damp paper towel. And I think the problem I was having with it was I put down too opaque a patch of paint. So now that I've lifted off most of it, I quite like the addition of that fluorescence. But it was a bit too heavy in contrast with the lightness of touch that's going on elsewhere. So I think that's pretty much done.